Well, Europe and USA are already different, you know. Average farm is more 200 cows up to 600 or 1000. Big nutrition company called Cargill. Finally, I've been in charge of research and development for amino acid nutrition. It's the same in India. You have some corn and soybean. They decided to use some rice bran. Dairy cows feel good below 20 degrees.
Yes.
So they will consume energy to fight heat stress. So silage is the most common forage that we feed in Europe. 30 years ago, when I started dairy nutrition, some research came and we started to look at metabolizable protein. If we compare the poultry nutrition, for example,
Yeah, it's totally different.
they are already formulating diet with 5, 6, 7 amino acids.
Yes.
In ruminants, we are only with 2.
True. Good afternoon, Mr. Matthieu Rolland. You are co-founder VISION Lait dairy consultant from France.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Thank you for the invitation, and yeah, I'm good.
Sir, my first question to you, as an Indian editor, I'm a magazine owner. We publish livestock technology magazine since last 20 years. What difference you see here in dairy in India
Compared to other markets?
compared to the Europe and the USA?
Okay. Well, Europe and USA are already different, you know. We have smaller farms in Europe. I'm based in France. The average farm size dairy in France is between 70 cows and 120 cows, let's say. When in the US, average farm is more 200 cows up to 600 or 1000. And this has an impact on management mainly because the more animals you have, the more people working on the farm. And at one stage, the more difficult is not to manage the animal, but it's to manage the people. That's a difference.
Tell me something about yourself, how you start your consultant as a dairy consultant, and what you are doing in France and what is your connection with the USA?
Yeah. So I started 25 years ago in the dairy industry. First, I was working as a nutritionist for a big nutrition company called Cargill. Then I spent 6 to 7 years working for the veterinary industry, more on health
Products.
and because this veterinary industry asked me to do the link between nutrition and health, so I learned a lot. Finally, I've been in charge of research and development for amino acid nutrition for a Japanese company called Ajinomoto. And 5 years ago, I was a bit fed up of the big companies, so I decided to create my own business, my own consulting company. And my link with the US is very simple. My business partner is based in US, so he's living in Minnesota.
Good. As per the raw material quality, what difference you feel in India and US, and how this affects the productivity and nutrition of here in feed in India?
Well, many materials are common. We are using a lot of cornmeal and soybean meal. It's the same in India. You have some corn and soybean. There are some materials that you are using we don't have in France or in US, like rice.
Yes.
I would say it's not a problem. As a nutritionist, everywhere I go in the world, my role is to understand the feed material. So I need to have some chemistry analysis, and based on these results, then I am able to balance feed or balance a ration with other material which will compensate, let's say, something that you don't have, for example, in your material. Just one example, I'm doing nutrition for big farm in Vietnam.
Yes.
And they decided to use some rice bran. I don't know rice bran.
What is?
So first thing I did is to run chemical analysis. I learned many things. First, the rice starch is a slow degradation starch, so it fits well for dairy cows. It's not too fast in the rumen, so this is positive. But on the other hand, if the rice bran is not de-oiled, there is some remaining fat, and this fat is linoleic acid, C18-2, and this one is detrimental for the rumen. So there is no good or bad material. What matters is to make sure that you analyze them, you know what's inside, and then you can make your formulation and adapt with other ingredients.
Great, that's it. What difference you see in dairy farming in Asia, Europe and USA?
Well, Europe, it's mainly traditional family farm, not very big size.
Commercial farm.
Yeah, commercial farm. We rely a lot on forages that the farmer grow by himself, grass and corn to do silage. So silage is the most common forage that we feed in Europe. In US, it's bigger farms and they don't grow grass, they grow mainly alfalfa, and it's a different kind of fiber, you know, it's less digestible. So they feed less of this material and they feed more corn silage.
Mm-hmm.
In Asia, I think we need to differentiate China from the rest of Asia. I'm doing consultancy on very, very large farms in China. And to be honest, they have similar model today as in US.
Mm-hmm.
They studied the US dairy and they try to duplicate in China. So they don't use a lot of various materials, they don't use rice.
How big it is?
Oh, these farms, the farms where I go in China are between 10,000 and 50,000 cows.
Oh,
it's huge. Yeah, it's
at
huge.
single place.
Yeah, generally they have barns with 10,000 animals. Yeah.
It is a big.
It's very big.
As per your knowledge, which one is the biggest farm in the world? Cattle.
Previously it was in Saudi Arabia, it was Al-Marai
Almagar.
before, but now the biggest one are in China actually. I don't know, maybe it's a farm from Modern Dairy or I don't know which group has the biggest one, but you will find many dairy groups in China with 20,000 up to 60,000 dairy cows.
My God.
Yeah.
Very.
And the biggest difference for me is heat stress. Heat stress and humidity. It has two impacts. It has an impact on the animal because a cow under heat stress will be difficult for her to cope with heat stress because dairy cows feel good below 20 degrees.
Yes.
So they will consume energy to fight heat stress. And it also has an impact on forage quality and conservation because if it's very humid outside, conservation is difficult for forages.
Okay.
So that's for me the biggest difference between Europe and Asia.
Yes. The environment, mainly the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. As per you travel a lot, and as per your record, anything new in rumen nutrition? What is new in rumen nutrition?
Well, I love to learn and I read a lot of new papers. So what's new is to move more and more to precision feeding.
That's it.
And to be able to better characterize and better quantify each fraction of the feedstuff we use for animals. For example, 30 years ago, when I started dairy nutrition, we were looking at crude protein of the ration. Then some research came and we started to look at metabolizable protein. And today, we go even more precisely. We look at amino acid quantification, one by one, lysine, methionine. So a good analogy is we are late if we compare the poultry nutrition, for example.
Yeah, it's totally different.
They are already formulating diet with 5, 6, 7 amino acids.
Yes.
In ruminants, we are only with 2. So that's something new, being able to be more precise. And the other thing is, I see that we are able to increase feed efficiency. So the quantity of milk produced for every kilogram of ration. And in the past, feed efficiency was 1.2 to 1.3. Today, with the new precision feeding, we are able to reach 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. And I think that's something farmers and technicians need to consider. All other animal production do this kind of calculation, feed conversion ratio, and it's only now, today, that we start using it in dairy. And for me, that's important.
Yeah, as a poultry person, I heard this FCR and CFCR there are a lot of things.
Yeah, and again, maybe we feel we are late, but it's because dairy nutrition or ruminant nutrition is more complicated.
Yes.
We first feed a rumen, and then this rumen will supply nutrient to the intestine. So it's a bit longer for ruminants to understand all the metabolic process.
It's a long process to get the result. In poultry, it's 35 days only. You can get the result.
Yeah. For us, it's 2 years to grow a heifer from a calf to a milking cow. Yeah.
Right. Great, sir. My last question to you. Your any message or any advice to the Indian dairy feed producers? How can they work on sustainability and profitability?
Yeah. So for me, profitability and sustainability goes together, because you cannot be sustainable if you are not profitable, because you will be out of the business. My message to the Indian dairy industry is, I think you have big opportunities because your market is still very fragmented. But I saw that there are associations, there are groups of technicians who are ready to help farmers. And a cow is a cow everywhere in the world. So you can study what's happening in US, in Europe, in Australia, in Israel. You will learn, and then you can apply in your context with your feed material. And I'm sure that tomorrow we will see some Indian dairies producing 40 or 45 kilograms of meat. I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.